everyone, this is Amy. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I paint a very pretty kind of a branch theme design on this glass bottle. This is actually, I think, an Irish cream bottle. I've gone ahead and cleaned it off and I'm ready to paint on it. I'm going to be using 3A Magic paint brushes. I've got a 10. Sorry, I'm using a different camera right now. I couldn't get my other one to work. Number 6, and then a number 12. Alright, using a dotting stylus, a Deerfoot stippler, number 2. Paint I'm using is School Bus Yellow, Burnt Umber, Vivid Orange, Magenta, Pure Orange, Burnt Sienna. Now the pinks and the oranges and the burnt sienna are what I used. I mixed them all together to get the color I'm using. Wicker White, Forest Moss, and Thicket. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I'm going to tell you is that I'm going to do the stem first, or the branch I should say, not the stem but the branch. I'm using the brown, which is the burnt umber, and the wicker white. I'm going to try to do this quickly because I'm not sure how much time I have on my card to use. But I'm going to do the brown. I'm going to come from the base, having the lighter part towards the top, and just try to give some movement to it. Come up like that. I can continue on over here. I don't want to go too far because I don't want to roll on it and mess up the design, which I'm really good at. So I'm good at messing up the design. So when you're doing this, you can just kind of go over it and just kind of keep doing the movements. And I like to start off with even just doing a little wiggling there. I put a little white on my brush and then continue on here. And I guess I'm trying to do this as quickly as I can because I'm not sure how long I have on my video card, since it's different than my regular video camera. Alright, so let's keep moving. Alright, so for my design, the next thing I'm going to use is the number 10. Do the same thing. I am just putting each side into the paint, and then I'll do blending strokes. And I'm sorry because my camera is so close, it's kind of hard to show it. Now with these designs that I'm painting, you can start with the orange on the outer side or on the inside, doesn't matter, up to you. But I'm just trying to make some basic shapes, and I'll probably go over them again here in just a second, but I'm just trying to do some basic shapes. That's why I always say it's kind of nice when you learn how to do some basic flower petal shapes and leaf petals, because that can really help you with your design. Your petals don't all have to be the same size. Keep that in mind. And I don't have as much room doing this video as I did when I with my movie or my actual video camera. I'm going to put some little buds up here. And then I probably will go over this again. As the main thing when you're painting on glass is that you want your designed to be put on with a nice thick coat of paint, just so that you know, have a good coat of paint so that it's more durable. Because when you bake it and it's thicker, it will hold up better to any kind of scratching, that kind of thing. If you treat it like fine china, it should be good to go regardless. Alright, I'm gonna do another bigger flower over here, and I'm sorry. I'm trying very hard to stay on the camera. But this is different for me, since I had to just kind of spring this very quickly. I didn't have time to really mess with it too much. Can you see my petals are not necessarily all shaped the same? And that's fine. They don't have to be. Some can be bigger and smaller. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and give it some, actually hit with my heat gun. And then I'm going to go back over it again. Alright, so I've gone ahead and I gave them some dry time on using my heat gun. And then I went over them for a second time. And I just want to go ahead and add another row of leaves, or petals I should say, to this particular little guy here. And oh, I have to come in here, sorry. Again, like I said, I'm not used to this camera that I'm using, so I have to do it a little bit differently. And the one thing you just need to watch when you're doing this is to keep from pulling up the paint. So when you paint over it, it can pull it up. So sometimes you're going to have to tap on it so you're not pulling the paint up, or you can let it dry a little bit longer, or dry, period, because I didn't really let this dry. Alright, so I'm going to leave that alone because I don't want to make a big mess. Now, if you want, you can take a smaller brush, or if you're good, you can do the same size brush. If you want to do just some little, I'll see how it works on this, because it's a little bit more difficult when you're doing it on glass. But if you want to try to give your petals some, it's going to pull it up. I don't do this that often on here because this is what it does make it a little harder. But that's basically just giving a little curve to your petal. It's like twisted up a little bit, turned up. Now I'm just going to touch it nicely. I'm not going to do too much of this because it is pulling up. But I just want to do just a smidge. And then, you know, you don't have to do too much of it. Maybe just pick a few petals to do it too. So you're just going to start, and then you're just going to kind of just come down a little bit and just turn it. And that gives it the look like it's like the petal is turned a little bit. And I can come in here and do that on this one. Try to make sure I'm hitting you on. And you could even do a smaller brush if you felt the need. I'm just going to touch this a little bit. It's easier to do this kind of stuff, like I said, on paper or wood or canvas. But I just wanted to just give you a little insight on ways that you can actually give your painting a little bit of movement. And even just come down like this. So trying to turn your brush, come down like that. This one I still want to touch up a little bit more, just so I can see it better. There you go. Because you don't want to get heavy-handed with it by any means, but it's just a fun way to kind of show a little bit of movement. Even if you didn't want to do it up there, you could just do it like, well, this petal's turned a little bit. Not a biggie, right? You can see where having a smaller brush to do this with would be advantageous. To me, it's easier when you can actually turn your brush. And you could even do some shading under it just to give it some movement too. And some people I actually see just use white, and they'll just come down and put like a white line where they're trying to do it. Clean that up a little bit. And that works well too. Let's see, let's do it in here because I kind of have a little bit of an opening here anyways. And you don't have to do it that far out. Just touch lightly. Like that. Now I'll just do it to a few of them, and then we'll be ready to continue on. This one I probably should have done it the opposite direction. Let me turn this bottle around. Let's see here. Which one was I working on? I'll just do one over here too, just a little bit. Again, I'm not going to do too much because I don't want to overdo it, because I think you can overdo it at times too. But that just gave you an idea. Okay, so let's continue on. I'm going to use the same brush that I used my brown and white with, and I'm just going to add in the greens. I'm not even going to wash it. I'm just adding in the greens so I can start doing my wiggle leaves. And you can do them like this, where you come back up, you go down, do a slight little wiggle, and then you can come back up, or you can turn your bottle and do it the other way. I'm going to do them, doing them with the lighter on the outside because this bottle is so dark. I'm not sure how much green would actually show up, to be honest with you. And on this one, I'm going to come back down this side. And just pull it. There you go. If you get too much paint on your paintbrush, just wipe it off on a towel, paper towel, whatever you have available. And we'll come down here and do a couple more. This is just a real easy design. If you like it, I hope you do. Please give me a big thumbs up. New to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button before you go. Now this one's coming because I have a little bit of a ledge, a little bit of an indentation right here. So I'm going to do this and just kind of pull it in. That helps. And we'll come here through this. And let's see what we're doing here. Go like this. Hope you can see still. I'm going to be careful because I do have these indentations down here. Hopefully you can see that. So I'll have to clean that up a little bit. I'm going to be doing a lot of different leaves on this one. But I do want to make sure it gets good coverage. And I'm going to pull it like that. Now I could do the lighter green through it for the stem, but I'm not going to. I just want to touch this up right here. Finish it off. There we go. So you just have to learn how to do that. Not hard. And I'm just going to take some little leaves like what I'm doing here. I could touch it into the white, which will give it more opaqueness, give it a little bit of a different look. And I'll continue doing this around. And continue on. And got a little bit of orange in there, and that's fine. Now let's see, let's do this. And then let's come out this way. Again, we're just keeping it easy. Keeping it easy, easy, easy. And then I'm going to do, let's go ahead and do, I got this going. Do another leaf up this way. It's okay if I go over it. Perfectly fine. And then let's come down here. And I apologize if I'm missing any of this. And I'm just doing, like I said, just some basic leaf designs. Nothing too difficult. And we're almost finished. I appreciate you hanging in there with me. Again, I just want to get my coverage good. Whenever you're doing your painting, if you feel like it's just not covered well enough, feel free just to go ahead and add, add some more paint on it. Just be careful though, you have to really watch when you're doing that, just for the purpose of the paint lifting, that's all. Okay, what I'm going to do, use my little stipler. I really need to just do some of the white in the front, the green in the back, and I'm going to just touch it like that. Come back in here and put a little bit more white. I'll come back to the white, but anyhow, a little bit more of the green on the bottom. I put a little touch of white. Not using any yellow today. Okay, just like that. And then I am going to come in with some dots. And I think what I'm going to just do it. I did use Skull Bus Yellow. I didn't pull it out. But let me do that. Let me pull it out. Because I think I told you Skull Bus Yellow anyways. I just didn't pull it out. Okay, so I have my little dotting tool. Bring that there, and I just got paint on my arm. I am the messiest person. I really am. And then I am just going to come in here and just do a lot of dotting. And just little dots, just little petite dots. Now you could come in with the orange mix and do this if you wanted. It would probably really stand out if you did. On my sample, because I always do a sample on paper, I did some dotting into the little buds. I might put a little bit up there, but I want to be careful just because I do have them, some of them flipping a little bit, which I have to be cautious that I'm not putting it on an outside petal instead of the inside. And I apologize, my furnace is starting up again. Almost done. Thanks for hanging with me. I'm just going to put a little there. I'm going to put a little right in here. And you don't even have to put these on here. If you feel like it's just not needed, then don't do it. But I'm just doing it just to have a little bit of texture. All right, so there you go. Pretty easy, right? Pretty easy. Beautiful bottle. It's a very unique style bottle. Never done one before like this. I just realized something too. I didn't put any greenery around my other flower. And I'm going to a little bit of come over onto the top of this little flower right here, which is fine. And I'm going to touch it. I don't want to ruin it. Yeah, I'll make this one a little darker. I just have to be careful about the paint coming up. Just don't want it to happen. Alright, so there you go. Sorry about that. Alright, hope you like this video. If you do, give me a big thumbs up. New to my channel, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and before you leave, share this on your social network with your family and friends. I would appreciate it. Just hit that share button underneath. Thanks so much for stopping by, and until the next time, you have a good one.